Hello, welcome and come on in. We are here with Coach Me, Joanna. I'm super excited to be here because this is where I get to really just celebrate people stepping forward and asking questions, and it warms my heart to know people are moving forward, trying to move forward anyways. And if it's just that one little itty bitty question that I can help you with that catapults you to the next level, I'm all in. I'm all in. With that being said, I want to get with today's question, and I got to get my spectacles on here because we're not getting any younger here. These eyeballs need help. So, with that being said, I have a question from Karen Roper. She basically says, well, I do have a rental, and how do you find affordable rates, funding, and the right property and manage of the properties, and she kind of went on for a little bit there, right? So just in synopsis, she said basically what to do after you have a few rentals. Like, how do you handle funding? How do you find affordable rates? How do you manage all of those, right? And first and foremost, to you, Karen, what I would have to say is, actually, let me just introduce myself again. For those of you that don't know me, before I get to your question, Karen, my name is Joanna Wright, founder of Bottom Line Wealth. I do have a Facebook group I'm pulling this from as well, all the questions, right, that retire early through real estate investing, because what's important to me is to get the information out that helps you rise, right, to create your own economic independence, to build your own wealth through real estate investing. So with that being said, building your portfolio is pretty much like the whole end game, right? Like, build that up to where it's supplying you with the cash flow and the assets that you need, right? So the whole reason of why I even started this journey was because my landlord had sold her house to me back in my 20s when I didn't even know what real estate was all about. And since then, I've learned that she had a stroke as to why she was selling off some of her inventory, and I just think it's genius. It's especially proven in today's economy that you can't rely on the government, you can't rely on a job, and you can't be living client to client. You got to have systems in place, multiple streams of income, diversify your portfolio. Like, if you're just in the stock market, it's super volatile, and if you're just in real estate, you need to have your eggs in multiple baskets. And it could very well be that you have them in some in single family, some in multifamily, right? That could be a way to diversify in real estate. But it is still one of the safest assets out there. So I applaud you, Karen, for building your portfolio and asking, how do I grow, right? How do I grow from just my few properties? And with that being said, let's just start with, let me ask you about your management. So I'm going to send this video over to you. Too low. The current frame is too low. I don't know what that means. So, I don't know, there's always something. Okay, I don't know what an FPS is. Anyways, so I get all kinds of great little things that help me out with my technology. And I'm not a tech person, so I don't understand them. And I know I'm live. You guys are here. And say hello where you're chiming in from if you see me here, so I can say hello to you and call on you, call out and say hello. I'm over here in Pennsylvania, and we've had some horrible storms lately with the internet, so I'm hoping that there's not an issue here. Anyways, I'm going to continue on. I see myself live. So funding and management, we'll start with that. Funding, so it becomes this game. So did you acquire it with traditional financing, right? Did you acquire it with traditional financing, and then did you Or was it private money lending, a hard money lender? Like, what's the note on it? All these things matter because it's going to depend on how you grow, right? So let's just start with, you did traditional financing, okay? You went to Wells Fargo, B of A, that's traditional banking, right? You got a loan, you put 30% down, or 25 if you're lucky, and now you have a rental property at probably 6-7%, right? So finding affordable money could be more like you had a private money lender that you're charging, 4 to 5%, or they're charging you 45%, 4 to 5%, not 45%. But basically, it's simple interest, right? So simple interest is something that is more affordable, and it's what private money lenders typically do, right? They lend on simple interest and then get paid out of their original principal when there's a refinance or sale of the house, right? According to the contract. So that could be a more affordable way, and money's all around you. I do a whole separate training on raising private capital. But money's all around you, so you can look at, people with retirement funds and whatnot that want to diversify from the stock market, from their 401k, and diversify in real estate, right? So that's something that you can put on the table for somebody who's looking to diversify, okay? And then the other thing is management of your property, right? So management of your property is, I use Tenant Cloud. It is free up to 49 properties, and it does everything for you. So I have a few of my clients using it. They closed on some property recently, and they're like, we need help. So tenant management is great, or Tenant Cloud is great. It doesn't matter if you're doing the management or you have a property manager doing it. You could still use Tenant Cloud. I highly recommend that you have a property manager. But everything is done through Tenant Cloud, right? So the client sets up their account through Tenant Cloud, and you don't ever have to touch their bank account, know their credit card number, anything like that, right? So it's just a third party that collects the funds each month. It holds all the pictures, all the maintenance records, different pros that you need to, keep it safe, and you can have your property manager log into it as well and handle all the records, okay? So it's a great diverse tool. You want tenantcloud.com in case you missed that. So dismiss. All right. I don't know why it's doing that again. All right, just go next time. Just go, right? That's all we want, is just go. So Tenant Cloud is a great option for management of your properties. So when you get past, so a lot of people will sit there and go, well, I could just do this one, right? Or I could just do this 2, or I could just do this 3, and then it gets to 4, you're just like, oh. So once you get past that number, you start to pull your hair out. And there's no reason you should do property management anyways, because you didn't go to school for it, and you didn't get a certification for it. So leave it to the pros, right? They know what they're doing. It's worth their weight in gold that nobody calls you at 3 o'clock in the morning because the toilet's stuck. And sometimes it's because there's a toy in there, right? So it's not even your fault. So management, that covers funding and management. And then the other question was, and I covered affordable rate. And then finding the right property. So this is all going to depend on who you are as a real estate investor. And I'm going to deep dive into this. I have a challenge coming up that I will list out exactly the different investors there are out there so that you can go, okay, that's me, and this is how I should move forward. So I've had a lot of questions, so I'm making a little training on it so that you guys get the clarity that you're looking for. And finding the right property means a great return on investment. It could mean location. It could mean for future use, like maybe you might live in it when, 10 years down the road or something. It could mean tax write-offs, right? Like tax advantages. So there's so many tax advantages on real estate investing that real estate investing provides. And then when you let's just say you're in Texas and you want to travel to Colorado, right? Or vice versa. Just pick a place that you travel to often. Okay, I'll give you one of my clients. So he's in Pennsylvania and he travels to Oklahoma all the time. Okay, so I'll give you the plan that I gave him. Was since he goes to Oklahoma all the time, he should buy an investment property there. Okay, he goes there because that's where his daughter is. But if you go to Oklahoma, it's a business write-off, right? So you're there seeing family, and it's a business write-off. So there's a huge tax advantage already with just having investment property. Then you put that on top of a business transaction, right? And then you've just multiplied your way of saving on taxes. So it's just a little strategy. Talk with your CPA about it, because that's not me. I'm not a CPA. Talk with your CPA about it, and say, this is what I want to accomplish. What's the best tax strategy for me, right? Because everybody is different. Everyone has a different book to write. Everyone has a different situation. So finding the right property, tax advantage wise, I would talk with your CPA. Finding the right property, as far as you need it close to you, or whatever your reasons are that you want it near you. Do you want a single family? Do you want multifamily? What is the right property for you? So what I'm going to turn this into is the right property should be the great return on investment, right? What's my best return on investment? And then that's going to come down to the actual house itself, the investment itself, right? What's your debt service? What's going on with the property? How much it's cash flowing is going to determine if it's the right property. Because I don't care if it's on this corner or that corner, in this state or that state. What matters to me is the numbers. If the numbers don't work, well, then there's no sense purchasing it. Now, in the other side of that, like, I can go in 5 different directions when people ask me questions. So this is why I like answering them live, so that you can like banter back with me and give me the gist of why you asked that question, so I could better fulfill it. But the other side of that coin is going from corner to corner or state to state. What matters again is the numbers. So if you're cash flowing, that is where the gold is, right? That is where. So it didn't matter in 2008 if you were upside down, right? And people are going, oh my God, yes, it does matter, right? Like, no, it didn't. It didn't. Because real estate always eventually goes up. No matter what it does, it goes up. If you bought something in 1950, you would see it's a whole lot different today. That gives me the absolute proof that it always goes up. Do we have ebbs and flows? Abso-freaking-lutely. So if you'd have bought in 2005, right, and we crashed 2008, and you bought at the top of the market, which we kind of feel like we're at the top of the market now, right? And it just goes whoosh, it just goes down, right? But when you bought at this market, if it was cash flowing, right, in a good margin, not by just a hair, right, it had to have a good margin, and that's 2-3% of purchase price that you're getting on that property. It covers the mortgage, it covers all your debt services, and then brings you cash of a minimum of $200 to $300, right? A minimum of, because you need to ebb and flow with, maybe the rent will go down or something because the economy has changed. So you have to have that ebb and flow built in there. It's not going to go down by much. Rents don't really move that much. So, and it takes a whole lot of time for it to go down. Whereas the stock market, it's gone tomorrow, right? You don't have enough time to say anything about it. It's just gone. So real estate takes quite a while. There's all kinds of markers that tell you where the market is going. and it takes a long time to go down. So you have plenty of time to sell or refinance, do what you need to do with the property if you want to get it repositioned, okay? So finding the right property is subject to what's the right property for you, right? And then always making sure that it cash flows, because if it's you bought it in 2005 and 2008 it fell off, if you were cash flowing at this market, it wouldn't matter, right? It wouldn't matter because you're still covering your mortgage even though the value is down here. You're still covering your mortgage with the rent. Okay, so that's my take on your questions, Karen. I hope this was helpful. I kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent there with all the different things of real estate, because it opens up like Pandora's box when we talk about real estate investing. There's so many different things and it can be overwhelming, which is why I do my real estate challenge, which will be coming up. I'll tell you guys all about it. Not today though. So it's coming, but it dials everything down, right? It makes this overwhelming feeling feel this big, right? Like you have a path, you have blinders on. Now you know how to move forward because it covers everyone's situation and what you want to do. Because no two investors are alike. Everyone does things differently. And you can Google and YouTube till the cows come home and still be confused and not move forward. So, and I know because I get people coming to me all the time. Oh my God, I've been just watching webinars and videos and all of this stuff. And it wasn't until you, Joanna, that I actually took action, because I gave them action steps, right? So now they're avid investors. So anyways, on that note, I'm here on Coach Me Joanna. I'm here every Thursday, 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm here to coach you, so show up, bring your questions in, send them in the DM, keep them coming. I'm here for you, and I look forward to chatting soon. All right, I'll talk to you guys then.